But I think the most radical change that I was suggesting is actually in how we decide things together. A real alternative to representative democracy, because for me, if you actually want government for the people, you've really got to have government of the people. This idea of electing the many, electing a few, with this trivial act of voting once every 4 years, is to me, it's a kind of absolute opposite of real political activity means, and I think that's kind of deliberate. We've been told that actually this is a meaningful political activity, when in fact it's not that meaningful. And the outcomes from that system are inadequate, they are iniquitous. And there are better models available in Porto Alegre, Brazil, a large industrial city in Brazil. They have been running for the last 10 years or so an experiment. It's called the Porto Alegre experiment. Well, it's not really an experiment anymore, of participatory democracy. 50,000 people take part in debates around the city on how the city's budgets should be allocated. And this has been going on for some time. And this has had pretty extraordinary results, documented amongst others by the World Bank. The culture of politics has changed completely. There is no more partisanship, the kind of trivial, yaboo kind of politics that we see, I'm afraid, here and many other so-called democracies has vanished. Instead, there is a culture of trying to address problems, trying to talk about the problems. Corruption has dramatically declined because decision-making, contracting is done transparently. But above all, the outcomes are more equitable. The provision of public services, things like schools, water services, health care, is now much more evenly distributed across the city. This is no wonder, because everybody is taking part in the decisions. Therefore, everybody has a stake in what happens. Everybody has a voice in the distribution of the services of the city. That is in contrast to the situation we face in representative systems. I think this model is plausible for other places, and indeed there are 4 city council people, I think 2 women and 2 men in this city, who are trying participatory budgeting for a small discretionary portion of their own budgets. $1 million each is not much, it's a start. And unfortunately, the true benefits of participatory budgeting of this kind only happen when you do the whole lot. It's got to be all of it. You can't really do it piecemeal. You don't change politics by having participatory approaches to only a small amount of the expenditure. You really need to do all of it, because contrary to a common misconception, when you put people in a room with a real decision, say we said to all of us, we are actually right now going to decide the future of the local hospital. This will create an extraordinarily different atmosphere in this room. We would not be merely debating, trying to score points off each other, trying to win a rhetorical argument. We would be very seriously trying to understand the problems of that hospital and trying to find a way forward consensually to address those problems. This is a different culture of politics. It is completely different from the confrontational, trivial, childish way that politicians are today encouraged to behave like. It works.